Today's task is to fit this tow bar kit, which fits up here inside on the chassis. It's quite clean, it's not crash damaged. It's about time this car was made to work properly. You get a reasonable set of instructions and a box of hardware and spacer tubes for the chassis. Let's start getting these together. So I've opted to mount these mounting bolts with the sleeve and the large heavy-duty washer on the outside, and then put them through the chassis from the outside into the hole and then through the chassis on the inside. So that's quite an easy job to do. Next, I'm going to take the internal chassis rail and I'm going to put that onto those bolts. So they will sit up there quite nicely, and I'm going to lightly bolt those up. The kit provides shake-proof washers which need to be reused throughout. The passenger side is a bit more tricky because of this exhaust shield. I have got the silencer, the exhaust silencer free, but I'm going to see if I can get that to fit without having to take this down. These are a nightmare to remove and I've already had to weld one up. I did manage to do this, but it was really tricky and fiddly and took a lot of time and effort and was a bit of a contortionist job to get complete. So with a bit of arm bending, I have managed to get the near side up above the cover without removing it, which is great, and I've got the offside connected. I decided the easiest way of cutting the aperture was to use a hole saw. Cut through the plastic very quickly indeed. So with the hole cut, and I've managed to get these little connectors off, that will pull down and allow me to fit my bumper bar behind there. Fitting the main back part of the bumper was quite tricky. It was a little bit heavy and I could get one end in just about, managed to get the bolts in to hold it temporarily, but then there was a threaded bolt that screwed in. This side that I'm working on now screwed in quite easily, but the other side was really tricky and hard work, and eventually I needed a hand to help me do that. Eventually it all went in quite nicely. I then had to cut the aperture in the bumper that I'd cut out because it was just slightly off centre. I'd slightly misread or mismeasured the instructions. I needed to cut another 5-6 mil out on one side with a knife, which was achieved, and I made it fit quite nicely. So that's that end loosely done up, as well as the other end. So I've got to tighten it all up yet. The last bit to fit is the bit that goes onto the tow ball. This was the easy bit. Really felt like the home straight. Went on nice and easy. Very nice bit of kit. Now I know I've not done the electrics, but I've taken just over 30 minutes. I've found this plug which is connected to the loom, and I'm wondering whether it's a pre-wired trailer plug. After testing the plug, which didn't give me any voltage readings, I brought the trailer wire through this grommet that's already on the bodywork. I've sleeved it with an additional grommet to stop it chafing, and I've now got the end to actually fix into the conventional feeds here. The wiring of the tow bar actually took far longer than the actual physical fitting of the mechanical components. I stripped the wire and found a feed eventually on this near side rear corner. It was quite tricky to do, quite hard work to identify the numbers and the colours, but there's plenty of good advice on YouTube out there. I did solder it, I didn't use the Scotch blocks. Thoroughly recommend not using them. So I've finished putting behind here the trailer audible alarm. I had to run a cable from the offside indicator all the way up behind the headlining and across and down to the other side, and then most of the trailer wiring is done into the back of this lamp. So there's the tow ball fitted with my new bike rack ready to pull a car or a trailer. Let's do a quick test. Another superb job done. Do like and subscribe, and join us next time and see what we might use this tow ball for.